Good evening, hello to you all, how are you? My name is Karl Newton. I am author of 2 books now, Get That Monkey Off My Back and Casting Stones. And one thing I talk about in both of the books is Naloxone. Naloxone is this little preloaded syringe kit with 2 needles, and it is, in essence, a lifesaver. Okay, so Naloxone, also known by the brand name of Narcon, is a safe and effective medication that can reverse the effects of an opioid overdose. It is often injected into a person experiencing an overdose, such as from heroin, and it works by attaching itself to the parts of the brain that receive heroin and other opioids, and it blocks the opioids from the effects of sort of respiratory depression and shutting down of other body functions for about 30 to 90 minutes typically. So it doesn't take you from being totally high to being totally no drugs in your system. It gives you a window of about 30 to 90 minutes where it will tell the respiratory system and stuff to keep functioning, and it will give you enough time to put the person into a recovery position while you await paramedics to arrive and administer the proper treatment to save a life. Okay, so in a worst case scenario, Naloxone will have absolutely no effect on somebody experiencing an overdose, but the best case scenario is it will save a life. Naloxone is completely safe. It has absolutely no other function, no other effect than what I just said, to literally block the opioids from working on the system. If I injected it into myself right now, it would have absolutely no effect, as its only function and primary purpose is in the event of an opioid overdose. One thing I campaign for in the new book, Casting Stones, is to get Naloxone into schools and youth facilities. Literally just in these little kits, a supply of them in all schools and youth facilities. Now I hope to God that they would never ever need to be used, and they do nothing more than gather dust and go past their sell by date, etc. But if introducing them into schools and youth facilities saved just one life, then it would be fully worth doing. And I believe we've got to sometimes have a better safe than sorry attitude, especially given peer pressure and the fact that the good old days where the worst thing you could do at school was have a crafty flag behind the bike shed are long gone, unfortunately. We live in a day and age where there probably is a heavy use of Class A and Class B drugs, younger and younger, by the year sort of thing. Another thing I campaign for is I've recently done some Naloxone training, and I heard of examples where, if say I'm with a friend now and he overdoses on an opioid like heroin, and I call the paramedics, they would have to inform the law, the police, it'd be one of their obligations. And I've heard cases where if that happened, the police would show up for an ambulance crew, and also extreme cases where someone's needed treatment for an overdose, and while the paramedics are trying to get to him, the police would push them out of the way and search the person for gear rather than letting them have the treatment. So we need to practice a treatment first, questions later attitude, I feel. And Naloxone needs to be carried by all paramedic crews, police crews, especially police are going to be showing up at a scene first, or raiding drug dens, etc. It would only be safe if they had a supply of Naloxone on them. And if there was more knowledge and less stigma around Naloxone. One thing I say in the book is that if there was a 1 injection hit of something that could bring somebody back from a cardiac arrest, otherwise known as a heart attack, or like a epilepsy induced seizure or something like that, it would be declared literally a miracle of modern medicine. And we need to do the same with Naloxone. It really does save lives, and the work it does is absolutely crucial, and I campaign massively for getting Naloxone here, there and everywhere. It should be widely available, widely administered, and it saves lives. It's something on the street that could save lives. There is another side to the argument. I was on a forum, an Naloxone forum, on a popular social media site, and one of the arguments was, does Naloxone encourage drug use? In as much as someone thinks, oh, I'll do some heroin, there's not really a bad outcome because I've got Naloxone, so I'm okay anyway, I'll do it for the fun of it. I mean, I don't know from first-hand experience because heroin isn't something that I did. It's one of the only things that I didn't do. But I wouldn't have thought the chain of thought even gets that far. You know, if you're that desperate for heroin, you're not going to think about what might happen once you've had that hit, if you can overdose, you know, or how you're going to save yourself if you do. I don't think your mind even goes that far. I think it's irrelevant. I think that argument has flaws. So yeah, in essence, Naloxone, it saves lives. Let's get it into schools and new facilities. Let's practice treatment, first questions later. Let's get the word out there about Naloxone. It's a life saver. Absolutely, no doubt, scientifically proven. No repercussions can come off taking it. You can't get high off it in itself. It has no other purpose than to save lives from overdoses. Naloxone, lifesaver. Don't forget.